Kelly Sixx, you made a very, very good decision at the end of that show attacking Bevan. There'll be good things in store for you, let me tell you.
Under new leadership, authority has been asserted, power has been abused, and for those who dare to stand against it, punishment is inevitable.
It's legal in Brilliance rules! We have been robbed of yet another championship match, Kai!
Aaron Blanchard cashed in as being Aaron Blanchard in the bank, and he is your new champion! This is the best day in VCW history!
Oh, give me a break. This was an absolute sham.
Now, the man who turned his back on his so-called friends, Kelly Sixx, has been handpicked by Aaron Blanchard for a title opportunity.
James Ellis, if you're going to screw me time and time again out of every single opportunity because someone's mad that I'm being a better champion than they ever could have been.
Aaron Blanchard there admiring the handiwork and the production budget of Brilliance Pro Wrestling, headed up by, of course, by his best friend and mine, James Ellis. Kelly Sixx exists, but me and Aaron Blanchard, we go way back. He promoted me recently to the head of commentary at VCW Pro Wrestling. Thank you very much. And Aaron Blanchard, Mr. Worldwide, the VCW champion, he told me, because we talk very often, me and Aaron Blanchard, and he told me very recently, about 6 months ago, but very recently, he said that Kelly Sixx is destined to bring gold to the Brilliance Pro Wrestling camp. And that Kenny Mantra has been champion for far too long, and I agree. Kenny Mantra is a great champion, great wrestler, but Aaron Blanchard, the VCW champion, of course, Mr. Worldwide, threatening me with a sack because he's so quirky like that. I get you. Asked me to mine his VCW championship for him because he's so kind. But what I cannot mine for him or for Kelly Sixx is the Legacy Championship held by Kenny Mantra. Now, as I was saying, Kenny Mantra has been a champion now for a very, very long time. Been a champion for 486 days now has he been Legacy Champion. And in that time, he's racked up quite a few defenses against the likes of Leon Cage. Almost became VCW Champion until he would say, robbed of the championship by Aaron Blanchard. But as we all know, Aaron Blanchard cashed in his being Mr. Worldwide, being Aaron Blanchard in the bank, to become the champion, a very well-deserved accolade for him. He says wanting to keep his job, but Kenny Mantra has held that Legacy Championship since defeating, and he won't like me saying this. He will not like me saying this at all, but it is a fact. Kenny Mantra has held that championship since defeating James Ellis all the way. Oh my God. Kelly Sixx, it looked like he was about to jump Kenny Mantra. But anyway, all the way back in 2023. Kenny Mantra defeated the Brilliance James Ellis to become the No Mercy Legacy Champion. But tonight, will that championship be rendered defunct?
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is a championship match for the Legacy Championship. Introducing first the challenger in the corner to my left. Fighting out of the South Coast, weighing in at a spectacular 190 pounds, this is
Kelly Sixx is an awful man who keeps great company. He stole my tie.
And now, introducing the champion in the corner to my right, hailing from Crosskey, South Wales, he is the heartbeat of pro wrestling and the longest reigning legacy champion. This is Kenny
Kenny Mantra. Now, earlier tonight, I said that Wesker, MJ Grayson, RC Chaos, and Oliver Sudden was the inaugural match in this company's history. That is not strictly the truth. We had a pre-show match for the first ever No Mercy Wrestling event, and in that, we had a Battle Royal won by Kenny Mantra, and that win won him the right to compete on the No Mercy show later that night. Since then, Kenny Mantra has become part of the furniture, essentially, at No Mercy Wrestling. Now, of course, Brilliance Pro Wrestling. Competed and got to the finals in the inaugural Iron Cobra tournament. Chased the Legacy Championship for a year and chased James Ellis. And eventually, of course, defeated James Ellis in a brutal street fight to become the No Mercy Wrestling Legacy Champion. But during the introductions, I alluded to the fact that that championship may in fact become defunct tonight. And that is because if Kelly Sixx was to win this championship tonight, what we know now as the No Mercy Legacy Championship may very well be rechristened the Brilliance Pro Wrestling Legacy Championship. As we know, and as I mentioned earlier, the Tag Team Championships, the No Mercy Wrestling Championship, and the Legacy Championship are all separate assets. They weren't acquired by James Ellis during his ownership of this company. However, if Kelly Sixx was to win this championship, as we know, champions often have the ability to customize their championship title belts. We believe that Kelly Sixx will use that option to rechristen that championship the Brilliance Pro Wrestling Legacy Championship, which would mean the end of the No Mercy Wrestling Legacy Championship as we know it, though that lineage and legacy will be kept alive. Kelly Sixx wants to completely change the game here in Brilliance Pro Wrestling. Once we saw him as a bastion of hope for No Mercy Wrestling. He was Bevan's hand-picked champion to take on James Ellis to defend No Mercy. He was the head coach of the No Mercy Dojo for a time, of which Kenny Mantra was once his student. Now, tonight, it is previous teacher versus previous student, as Mantra looks to retain his championship and extend himself well into the 500 days as champion. But Kelly Sixx will have different ideas. I can assure you that Aaron Blanchard has vastly different ideas on the matter as well. The VCW champion on the outside watching this match unfold with laser-like focus. We know that Aaron Blanchard is not above breaking the rules when he needs to. Earlier tonight, pulling referee Stu Waters out of the ring during James Ellis's match with Charles Crowley for that Rick's Championship. A championship that was only allowed to be contested for tonight, by the way, because of the work of the International Relations Vice President, or whatever title he calls himself today, Aaron Blanchard, who was able to strike up a deal with Rick's Catch to not only allow Charles Crowley to compete tonight, but also to allow him to defend that championship. We thank Aaron Blanchard for that, but I'm sure Kelly Sixx will be thanking Aaron Blanchard for a lot more if he is able to become Legacy Champion in tonight's main event. This, of course, is the main event for the 3rd anniversary event here, No Mercy, No More, at Brilliance Pro Wrestling. The 1st anniversary event under the Brilliance Pro Wrestling moniker, and in fact the first event under the Brilliance Pro Wrestling moniker in full, as Kelly Sixx now attacking the abdomen of Kenny Mantra. Now, we've seen in previous events and over the years, Kenny Mantra has received repeated injuries to his ribs, has broken his ribs on a number of occasions, and having broken a rib myself in the past, that is one of the most painful and debilitating injuries because you cannot fix it. There is nothing to really do about a broken rib, and Kelly Sixx knows that, and he knows that with a broken rib, breathing becomes painful, and as such, a lot more difficult. And if he is able to neutralize the breathing of Kenny Mantra, he stands a far better chance of becoming the No Mercy Wrestling Legacy Champion tonight. Because, I have said it before and I will say it again, if a man can't breathe, a man can't fight. And Kelly Sixx right now making sure that Kenny Mantra can't breathe by choking him on that middle rope. Very, very clever from the King of Performance. And Kenny Mantra now dangerously close to Aaron Blanchard on the outside. Wearing a beautiful blazer, I might add. Kenny Mantra now barreling those forearms towards the jaw of Kelly Sixx. Currently no result from that as Kelly Sixx, huge knee again to the ribs and the abdomen of Kenny Mantra into the cover now. Not enough damage inflicted yet, but I'm sure Kelly Sixx has a lot of ideas on how to improve on that as this match drags on. Kelly Sixx taking umbrage to any support for Kenny Mantra. There's a reason for the support for Kenny Mantra. As I said, fighting champion, been a champion for a long time. Been one of the main focal points of this company since its very inception as well. Been on a lot more No Mercy and VCW shows than Kelly Sixx has. In fact, been on many more shows than Aaron Blanchard has. Become a stalwart of the roster. But the problem with that is he has always run afoul of James Ellis. And I fear for Kenny Mantra, I really do. If he loses that Legacy Championship tonight, what's stopping James Ellis from cutting him loose? Or letting him sit out the rest of his contract here at Brilliance Pro Wrestling on the sofa without any more matches? James Ellis can do that if he so desired. There's no guaranteed matches with the Brilliance Pro Wrestling or No Mercy Wrestling contract. If he decided that now that Kenny Mantra's not a champion, he serves him no purpose, he could tell Kenny Mantra not to come back. And that is a real fear I have for Kenny, that he could in fact be wrestling his last match should he lose at the culmination of it. Catching himself there from the dive, delivering a kick to Kelly Sixx, lands on the floor, drive-by drop kick, staggers Kelly Sixx, and now Mr. Worldwide checking on his charge. And Kenny Mantra, Blanchard getting in between Kelly Sixx and the champion, and Kelly Sixx using Aaron Blanchard almost as a human shield. That tells you all you need to know about the integrity of that man. Kelly Sixx, once revered here in No Mercy Wrestling, in Brilliance Pro Wrestling, now despised and rightfully so. He picks on the little man. He's a bully, and he is not a champion. But unfortunately, he may be minutes away from becoming one, especially with who we've got at ringside. Referee now administering the count. Kelly Sixx knows that he cannot win the championship this way. He needs to get Kenny Mantra back into the ring if he wants to walk out as Legacy Champion. As I said earlier tonight, James Ellis unable to expunge the championship advantage as the No Mercy Legacy Championship currently under the No Mercy banner, even though the company itself has rebranded to Brilliance Pro Wrestling. Does not own that asset just yet, but he could be, and I cannot stress this enough, he could be just moments away from that being fact. As Kelly Sixx right now presiding over this match as the true king. The king of performance, could be the king of No Mercy's legacy division, if you can call it that. Body slam to Mantra. Champion's in a bad way. He's received a lot of damage now to that midsection. Those ribs and the lower lumbar taking quite the beating from Sixx. So it'd be interesting to see where he goes from here, Kenny, if he's able to get back into the match. As Kelly Sixx now turning Kenny Mantra into a pretzel. Modified abdominal stretch with a leg capture on the canvas. I'm not quite sure if this maneuver has a specific name. What I can call it is dangerous. It's a dangerous position for Kenny Mantra to be in. He sensed it. He's moved himself out of it. Hold on, standing sliced bread or a Shiranoi. And Kenny Mantra unable to capitalize. This would have been ideal for Kenny Mantra to retain that championship. But due to the amount of stress that's been put on the abdomen during this match, to the amount of damage he has been inflicted by Kelly Sixx, Kenny Mantra was unable to capitalize, and it appears that Kelly Sixx is actually recovering quicker from that Shiranoi than Kenny Mantra himself was. And Kenny Mantra, of course, administered the maneuver. So that just tells you how bad of a situation Kenny Mantra finds himself in right now with his ribs and his midsection. Not bad enough to step away from this match and that championship, though. Kenny Mantra feeding off this crowd. Kelly Sixx is well within his sights. There we go. Bring me the drop kick. But Kenny Mantra still unable to retain. A kick out from Kelly Sixx means that Kenny Mantra will have a lot more work to do if he wants to walk out of Kafiri Leisure Centre tonight as your legacy champion. An impressive reign, and I'm sure he wants to extend it. Was originally signed on to defend against Alexander Vane at the start of this year. That match unable to happen due to mitigating factors. Kenny Mantra being the champion that he is, I'm sure with a victory here, he would give and grant that championship match to Alexander Vane. I'm not sure that Kelly Sixx would do the same thing, and thankfully we may not need to learn as Kenny Mantra into the cover after that TKO. But again, Kelly Sixx is still in it. He is the king of performance for a reason, because despite all the damage, despite all the pain, the show must go on. Kenny Mantra now, slingshot, X Factor is looking for it. Kelly Sixx reversed and dropped Kenny Mantra with one of the most hellacious German suplexes I think I've ever seen. And Kelly Sixx now, suicide dive into a DDT. Tope suicida de DDT, if you speak Spanish like I don't. Referee now up to 3, counting for the count out. We've seen a double count out quite recently with VCW, of course, in December, as we mentioned earlier tonight, with Shane Hook and Ethan Thomas. Not something you want to see in any environment, especially not a championship match or a main event. 7 now, the referee reaching. This would be a count out. But again, what is Kelly Sixx thinking? He can't win the championship. Kenny Mantra is in. Thankfully for Kelly Sixx's aspirations of being champion. Reverse backbreaker a rib breaker, abdomen breaker, whatever you want to call that from Kelly Sixx. Whatever you want to call it, it's definitely painful, but it is not the winning blow. Kelly Sixx still not your legacy champion just yet. Aaron Blanchard still a mitigating factor on the outside. And Kenny Mantra still, even if it is just by a fingertip, holding on to that legacy championship. But for how long? To the top rope now. Mantra is hoisted by Sixx, and a chop to tenderize him, maybe stun him, keep him in the back pocket of Sixx, and Sixx now got the head of Mantra, perhaps looking for some kind of cutter or stunner from the top, which would have been a disaster for Mantra, but he was able to throw Sixx off the top. Now this is the maneuver that Kenny Mantra won the Legacy Championship with. The frog splash as he attempts it. The pool was empty, but that shot connected. Kelly Sixx is your new Legacy Champion. I spoke too soon. Kelly Sixx, you are not the champion, sunshine. Kelly Sixx now tearing away at his knee support, tearing away at the knee pad. This is both a dangerous thing for him and for Kenny Mantra. Kick to the back of the head with an exposed knee. That opens up Kelly Sixx to a lot more injuries, but also opens Kenny Mantra up to a lot more damage on a knee strike roll through. Kenny Mantra almost retained there. Super kick now to Kelly Sixx. Doesn't take him down, another super kick. Again, Kelly Sixx able to stand up. Perhaps those were thrust kicks, maybe not as super as I thought they were. Springboard X Factor, or so I thought, into the stunner. Very rare modification of that move for Kenny Mantra. Not enough, it would seem, to keep Kelly Sixx out of the running of becoming Legacy Champion. As we head into the 4th year of Brilliance Pro Wrestling, formerly known as No Mercy Wrestling, who will be walking into it with the Legacy Championship, the first championship ever established outside of the Iron Cobra. And Blanchard throwing that championship into the ring, paying dividends is Aaron Blanchard. Kenny Mantra, hold on, we saw this earlier tonight with James Ellis. Kelly Sixx looked for a low blow, ended up finding a knee to the mush from Kenny Mantra. And now Kenny Mantra, he must have something planned, maybe thinking, hold on, whatever he was thinking, it was interrupted by Aaron Blanchard, and that belt off the head of Kenny Mantra. Kelly Sixx now in prime position. Hook of the leg into the cover. And Kenny Mantra, I've said it before, he is a fighting champion. He is not willing to go down without putting up one hell of a fight. Kelly Sixx, give him your worst, because he's been through more. Kenny Mantra, still Legacy Champion, holding on to that championship with a speck of dust, it seems. Kenny, if I was you, brother, I'd move out of the way, because Kelly Sixx, moonsault, but no one was home. Kenny Mantra now, springboard X Factor. This normally sets up perfectly the frog splash, which we've seen Kenny Mantra attempt once before, to no success tonight. Kelly Sixx able to recover momentarily. Chopping Kenny Mantra, almost taking a bad spill, but caught himself. Referee checking on both men. He knows how physical this match has been thus far. Wants to make sure both men are okay to continue. Should this match end as the result of a referee stoppage, it will result in a victory for the other competitor, so Kenny Mantra could lose the championship due to referee stoppage. A spear now to Kelly Sixx, and Mantra up to the top rope. Frog splash connected. He won the championship with this, but look at the abdomen. The ribs that have been injured by Kelly Sixx throughout this match. Kenny Mantra, again, is too injured to capitalize. Great strategy from Kelly Sixx. Awful if you're Kenny Mantra. Into the cover. Lackadaisical, but a foot on the ropes as a result of the intervention of Aaron Blanchard. This is very clever. Very clever. Very dastardly, very devious, and very brilliant, if you're listening, Mr. James Ellis. This match is still alive. The championship is still on the line, and Kenny Mantra is still at risk. Kelly Sixx has all to win and nothing to lose. Kenny Mantra is all the opposite. Tope suicida to Aaron Blanchard. I can't believe Kenny Mantra would hit a man with glasses. And here I thought he was a man of strong moral fiber. To the top rope now he goes. Or so I thought, commentator's curse. Crossbody caught with a lung blower, and that really is a lung blower at the moment. Kenny Mantra's ribs really are playing him up. Huge kick from Kelly Sixx. And we have a new champion. Just like that. The No Mercy Legacy Championship. It belongs to Kelly Sixx.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and the new Brilliance Pro Wrestling Legacy Champion, Kelly Sixx.
I guess Richard was fed information that I was not privy to. Rich there on the microphone proclaiming the championship is now officially the Brilliance Pro Wrestling Legacy title. Congratulations to the inaugural Brilliance Pro Wrestling Legacy champion, the third champion in Legacy title history. Kenny Mantra, the longest reigning champion in history, his reign coming to an end at just south of 500 days, 486 days. And Kelly Sixx, it seems, actually wants to show respect to the man that just absolutely leveled the Vice President of International Talent Liaison, or whatever his title is. The teacher congratulating the student and then hoofing him in the nuts. Kelly Sixx is a terrible, awful, deplorable human being. But James Ellis and Aaron Blanchard, they are competing vengeance right now. Kenny Mantra tried to fly in the face of Brilliance Pro Wrestling by proclaiming that championship to be the No Mercy Championship. They are defending Brilliance Pro Wrestling from Kenny Mantra. Kelly Sixx is just being unnecessarily callous and mean. The Brilliance Legacy Championship now in the possession of new champion Kelly Sixx, and Kenny Mantra to be sacrificed. Wait, what is happening? There's no, I can still see some light, so it's not a power cut. What's going on? Hold on, there's someone in the, It's Bevan! Bevan's here! I thought he left the business! He's here! He's at Brilliance Pro Wrestling! The founder of No Mercy Wrestling, Bevan! He's here! He's back! And the boss is none too pleased. Blanchard is down, Sixx is down! And Ellis dragged to safety at the last possible moment. Ellis demanding the removal of Bevan, insisting he's not meant to be here. It's not No Mercy anymore. What is he doing here?
I'm not supposed to be here, am I, Ellis? Really? Cameraman, get a nice close-up on this. This is a talent contract.
Wait a minute, what?
Dated until 2026. I, James Ellis, am officially a part of the Brilliance Pro roster.
Wait a second! He was the owner, of course! His contract's ironclad! You cannot terminate the contract of Bevan, he has to terminate it himself.
You can run as much as you want, son.
This is genius.
I will see you on the next show. I will be here, and I'm going to take every single one of you out.
Bevan proclaimed that Blanchard, Ellis and Sixx are on his hit list. Utilizing the ironclad contract he signed for No Mercy until 2026 to force his way back in. Bevan, he's playing 3D chess while the rest of us are playing Monopoly. Bevan and Kenny Mantra, longtime friends and rivals, walking away arm in arm here at Brilliance Pro Wrestling. No Mercy, no more.